when I moved back 6 years ago, a lot of people were actually very confused. They're like, why do you want to come back to Egypt? I mean, we want to leave the country. We want to find jobs abroad. And I was very disappointed. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, this is your country, you know? Like, and I was very excited that coming back.
The world sees Africa as a place where people cannot do anything for themselves. They usually show the starving kids, the wars, people begging all the time.
There's a lot of stereotypes. Thinking of Yemen in one single frame, this is what Yemen is all about. And that's not fair. It's not fair for me, it's not fair for my country. A lot of reporters come to Yemen and they want to write a story on Al-Qaeda or terrorism.
All they see is a place for the dark and the place where there is war. But that's not that. It's a place of peace and love, and where you find, I can call it paradise.
It's not often you find the words hip-hop juxtaposed with Yemen, yet in his short video documentary, Shake the Dust, which will eventually form part of a more substantial feature on hip-hop worldwide, that's just what New York-based photographer Adam Skolberg has done.
I grew up in a world where I was lucky to be able to write my own story. But the more I travel, the more I realize that some people's voices aren't being heard. And though everyone is the author of their own story, that story often gets clouded by misunderstandings and prejudices. I believe that my job as a filmmaker is not to keep retelling my story, but to pass other stories along, to create a place for people with beautiful voices to let their own history, their own narrative be heard. For 3 years now, I've invested thousands of dollars of my own money, months of my own time to make this passion of mine a reality, with the film Shake the Dust, a feature documentary about hip-hop's role of hope and restoration in struggling communities around the globe.
Hip-hop gives us a sense of ownership.
See, they need to open these doors and let these kids express themselves.
Hip-hop is it's a community. It gives you the sense of, you know, family. My main message to any youth all over the world is to find himself.
The future of Yemen is going to come through its youth, and it's going to come through its youth who are educated and have a sense of self. These are the ones who are going to say, here I am and this is what I can do.
ومن جوه يعلم الله رسالتي اللي بفصلها هوصلها لناس طال انتظارها مستنية الفرحة لحظة في ناس حافظة مش فاهمة ناس رافضة ومعارضة من غير لازمة ناس حاسين بالأزمة تعبانين حابسين دم الملايين زي التعابين.
Poverty doesn't necessarily mean lack of funds or lack of money, no. To me, it's more like low self-esteem, you know.
It's at the end of it all, it's not your parents making a change. It's you making a change. That's what I want to see. That we don't have no more street kids who are on the streets crying that I lost both of my parents.
Hip-hop, in the beginning, it was fighting the power, letting your voice be heard. I may not have what you have, but I can do what you can do.
Hip-hop was something that all of us can be a part of, something that can be a part of all of us, because it's not really, it doesn't belong to any of our traditional cultures. Because the way hip-hop happened in the Bronx is not the way it has to happen here, because we're living in two different realities. The way it's going to happen in India, the Middle East, or anywhere around the world, it's going to be different.
This is just a stepping stone to something else. You know, it's working together, whether it's with dance or music or whatever.
We're not running after fame or fortune, we're running after change.
Something good is around the corner. And if them dancing is going to make them go back to school and really learn something else, then let them dance.
معاه بكون على راحتي الحياة نكتة أهلا بيك في مسرح جديد أهلا بيكم مسرحيتي مسرحية اجتماعية.
This year, I will finish this project. But I realize that just as I can't tell these people's stories for them, this film itself can't happen without a global community backing it. I've been overwhelmed by the support I've already received, and I thank all of you that have followed me on this journey since the beginning. But I'm asking for one more favor. This month, I'm going to be using Kickstarter to raise the remaining $35,000 I need to finish the film. Much of the work has already been done, but in order to finish filming and see this project through to the end, I can't do it alone. The final product will be a feature-length film that I will be showing at as many film festivals as I can, and using it as a vehicle not only to open up people's eyes to another view of the world, but to raise awareness and hopefully funding for the incredible hip-hop organizations that I've partnered with along the way. So please go to www.shakethedust.org and click on the link on the homepage to contribute. Thanks again for joining me on this adventure.
There's one reporter that came, he wanted to do a documentary, and he landed up writing about a story that even surprised me, hip-hop. That there are young Yemeni men who express themselves through dancing and that thing.
Rap, break dancing.
Yeah, break dancing.
Yeah. Actually, that's a documentary that's available online. The video's online. It is
ShakeTheDust.org. Yeah.
Shake the Dust.
Shake the Dust.
من القاهرة لبيروت واحنا قلمنا مرفوع علمنا مرفوع صوتنا مسموع جون ناصر على البيس ديب اد فريق الأطرش يلا قلمنا مرفوع يكتب كلام في الممنوع يشهد ضد الزور يجفف الدموع قلمنا مرفوع يكتب كلام في الممنوع يشهد ضد الزور يجفف الدموع
قلمنا مرفوع بهالارض املنا مزروع تيفيق العقول ما يهيئ لحروب قلمنا مرفوع بهالارض املنا مزروع تيفيق العقول صرت شفاف شفتان شفات سدات وجع راسي منه خلصت انشفات بس انشفت عطيني بالري قبالي عطشت المر بالحياة